everyone. Welcome to another Saturday evening with Ellie Naimel Talk Show at Tempora Afrique TV. Today we have a special guest that we're going to bring on that is currently running for a city council of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. His name is Boyd Morson. He is currently one of the candidates right now that is running for city council. And we're going to bring him on. He's going to tell us about what is his plan, how he's part of the reform and the change for our countries here in America, especially here in Minnesota, Brooklyn Park. I'll give you guys a little bit detail about him, kind of an introduction, so you guys have an idea who he is. And then he's going to explain his campaign and his candidates of what his plans are. Boyd Morson is an Arkansas, was born in he was born in Michigan on October 10, 1962. He is also one of the most hardworking men that I know, based on all of his information that I got from him, who has been involved in entrepreneurship and also serving the country, taking care of his family. Not only that, he also, in his hometown in Arkansas, was doing farming and also was able to put those in the farmer markets and also helping his community as well. So there's a lot of credentials that shows a lot of what he has done in his community as far as all the way from Michigan, Arkansas, and now residing in Minnesota. So he's been in Minnesota for 12 years in Brooklyn Park and decided to run for a city council to make changes here in Brooklyn Park. So it's a wonderful gift to have someone who has so much credentials in their background, who wants to contribute their gifts and their potential, what they can do to our community out here in Minnesota. So let's welcome Boyd Morson, and we'll go from there. Hi, Boyd Morson.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing outstanding, getting better all the time.
We're so happy to have you on today. I know you're on a travel mission right now. You're busy with all the campaigns, and you're currently in another state visiting as well.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm thankful to be a part of your show. Let me say that. Thanks for having me, and it's a great opportunity to sit here before you, and also share my vision with the people and your viewers. Thank you once again.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So let's go ahead and start with your campaign. How did you decide to run for a city council, and what can our audience hear from you? Just to start giving us a little introduction there.
Well, this is not a new campaign for me. It's new just this year. I started in 2006. So I've been doing this for a long time, and still haven't got on the other side of that table, and I still haven't given up. So I'm here letting you guys know that there's a voice that's needed down at City Hall that's been long awaited and long absent. And through those doors at City Hall lies a seat. Not just a seat, but a seat for the people. So it's incumbent upon us to make sure we put in a candidate that's been tried, tested, and proven, even before they even got into those doors and into that seat. That seat is a seat only occupied for somebody that's there to represent the people. And that's what my campaign is about. I'm running as the people's choice. And the people means you, me, we, and us. Our families, our friends and their families, our neighborhoods and community, and our city. And it includes everybody from north of 85th and south of 85th. The seniors, retirees, and middle class who all feeling the pinch, and those still caught up in the crevices of life, still struggling to survive, trying to find their way out. I'm including each and every one of you, but I just can't do this by myself. And I'm respectfully asking for your vote and your support come August the 11th, and again on November the 3rd, as the People's Choice candidate.
Oh, absolutely, and this is a part of, us hearing what our leaders wants to contribute into making these changes as well, because we as followers as well, we look up to leaders like yourself as well. And And like you said, those seats do need to be filled, and it is, up to God on who is going to be as far as, the work goes and things like that. So we really hope that you do get it, and we really hope that, you're able to fulfill some of those duties that needs to be done. So we noticed there on your shirt it says, "I can't breathe." So of course, like all of this has started with George Floyd's death and all of these things that we are putting in to make changes into the countries. How has that affected your duty so far up to this point?
Well, let's first of all give a moment to George Floyd for his life being taken away right before our very eyes for the whole world to see. Mm-hmm. May his soul forever and eternally rest in heavenly peace. And to his family that has to endure this for the rest of their life, his daughter and his family, his wife, we want to make sure that we send our prayers and blessings out to them once again. And also to the state of Minnesota, who we all are grieving, mourning, at the tragic loss of George Floyd. And I'm thankful that I was invited to be a part of his ceremony, to be a part of the memorial. I spoke at the memorial. I was there as part of remembrance of him, in honor of him. I was there with the family, when they kneeled down in the streets there and gave prayer and lifted up their voices for the community. And I want to applaud the community for stepping up and coming out and peacefully protesting, as well as making a stand. There was a lot of diverse population of people that's out there. And then there was also a lot of young people that's out there, which was a great motivation to me to see all those young people that was out there. I'm inspired by the energy that's being exhibited by these young people who know that these people of color that we speak of are their same football players and teammates and athletes and classmates that they went to school with. And they's telling them that they need equal rights just like anybody else. And I applaud them for that. And I'm thankful for that. So this is just another opportunity for me to be a blessing to somebody else in their time of need, in their moment of need, and also to be a voice for our city.
Wow. Yeah, when you mentioned the young generations there, how they have come out, which is something that we haven't seen for a very long time in our history as well, and they're so brave in how they have come out. And what do you think their understanding of what needs to be changed in the country, as far as them seeing such a really horrific tragic that happens in front of them, like George Floyd's death? Do you believe that maybe they have understood that we have lived in a debt situation and that something needs to be done at this point? Do you feel like they're waking up, or how can we do to help them continue to lead?
Well, I truly believe that they get it, and they get it by their actions, and not just in Minnesota, but if you see it all across the streets of the United States, they are getting it. And people who are open-minded, people that's conscious of what's going on, they out there peacefully protesting as well. They standing right alongside with black folk and white folk and people from all type of backgrounds. It's like a rainbow of people, a mosaic population of people that's out there trying to say we deserve rights and black lives do matter, and also to say that we tired. We sick and tired of being sick and tired of saying the same old thing over and over again. How many more videos do we need to publish or post for somebody to get the hint that police are actually aggressively mistreating people of color? How does that make a black man feel, or your nephew, your uncle, or your father, to go out in the community knowing that they could be potentially pulled over for any erroneous reason, and then could be subjected to some unacceptable, inexcusable behavior by a police officer who swore to serve and protect the people, but yet they showing the difference of action when it comes to people of color, unfortunately.
Yes, it's very true. There has been a lot of report in the black community, minorities as well, even including with COVID-19 at this point. And with the young people getting involved in a lot of those things right now, trying to change our future, which they are the future as well. And now, when things started off with, we want peace, we want justice, and, justice has been served to George Floyd. Of course, what Derek Chauvin has done was extremely out of the line. It was something that every nation saw that was so demonic and that should have never been done. So with all the young cats, I mean, it's amazing seeing it across the United States what they're doing and how they're fighting for this equality and justice, and also trying to change so that we can all have a better life together and be able to live in peace together. And then with the Black Lives Matters also as well, that are protesting in the greater New York and other different states here across the United States. Do you feel like there's, that the youth fully understand that at some point towards the end, that we want all to be equal and live in peace and be able to have all of our rights that we have been, that has been oppressed on our communities as well? Of course, like, for example, where in the Black communities, there's not a lot of housing and things that you see mostly in the suburban area where most of the white people live in as well. You think maybe now they continue to fight that battle to have that equality so that we're not segregated anymore in different communities where some are red flags and some are actually given more higher education for these kids.
Yeah, I think it is my opinion, belief, and experience through these peaceful protesting and meeting and talking with a lot of them, is that they really get it. And they really want to see some true change. And it's evident because we almost 3 weeks after, the live public lynching of George Floyd, and they still out there protesting. That says a lot. It means a lot. I'm encouraged, I'm motivated, and I'm inspired. Just if I can, just on today, I was out door knocking a little bit earlier, and I knocked on the door, and there was a young lady who just turned 18. She was so excited to see me at her door because I'm a candidate running for office, and this would be her first time ever voting. So she just graduated from school, and so she's really excited to be a part of the process. And being a part of the process, a history-making event, is right upon us right now. And I'm sure with all that we see with our eyes and ears, these young people, this young generation, population of people, the lost, forgotten generations and generations of people, they want to be on the right side of history. They together have come together, mount up a mobilization that we have never seen before, and they demanding respect, they demanding action, and they demanding results. They're not looking for just idle conversations and talking. They want real, true action. And as a direct result, they pulling down statues, Confederate statues, they monuments that's all over the United States. They doing everything within their power to get rid of those shameful past that has been plaguing us for over 400 years, that they want us to live up to and recognize and respect, yet those things never gave us the same respect. So I believe the youth of today, they rising up, stepping up, and they using their youthfulness to be a part and engaged in the peaceful protesting to make positive change for everybody to experience and witness in this historical making moment.
Now, as we all see, now we're going through a time where me personally, everything that I have seen happening from like the monument torn down and, with the COVID-19 surging and things like that, and many of the Black community, which are now continue to be a portion of the COVID-19 effects as well. So in about 5 years from now, let's just say 5 years, 10 years, because I know changes can take time or it could take a little while for it to happen. What are the hopes that some of these children can keep to know that what they're doing is actually going to be a permanent change in the long run, rather than, going back in a circle where you see a change happening, but then nothing gets done as well? Have you seen any of those plans taken in as well, or how we can keep this positive change as a permanent change?
Excuse me, yes. Well, again, the motivation of these youth is just been unbelievable. Some of them have even went against their own parents' sometimes belief, because their parents could have an outdated, primitive way of thinking about people of color, and yet they don't see the things through the same lens that their parents do. So you have to applaud them for even separating themselves from the mindset of their parents, because that's a whole lot to live under the roof with somebody, and yet you're taking on a different avenue about how you view and see life as it should be and how it's supposed to be, but sometimes your parents got a different view. And about COVID-19, let me just pause in honor of all of those lives, 120,000 lives that has been taken as a result of COVID-19. My hat's off to you. I lost friends myself, and then some people still don't think this is real.
Yeah.
When we hear scientists and doctors, professionals that tell us we may have an excess of 200,000 deaths just by September alone. But I just want to put it out there that I don't want to be in that number, and I don't know if anybody want to be in that number, but it's out there. So what are you doing to protect yourself? And even on top of that, these youth are mounting forcefully to go out to peaceful protesting, not even giving a care, someone without masks, in just trying to make sure that equal rights is being implemented and changes in the making. This is what they're looking for, as well as we've been looking for a long time. So we got to get behind them, stand with them, and stand by them to ensure that they led the proper way and that their voice truly matters. And again, I applaud them all for stepping up, standing up, speaking out, speaking clearly, speaking often, sticking to it, and doing what they need to do to become the voice and on the right side of history at this moment.
Wow. So definitely it's all about keep speaking and keep speaking out.
That's right.
Most likely. Wow.
That's all. Yeah.
Well, I know lately I've been seeing a lot of controversy about, the black people waking up with the awakening. What is this great awakening? Is it the political side of having been voting for the wrong side of the party that is not doing anything for the community, or is the awakening that we're trying to send some of these changes to the political people to implement some of these changes permanently? Do you think a lot of these voices that are speaking up is going to be able to help make some of those changes, and that the political people will actually listen, or that the community knows now who to follow as far as who their leader might be?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question, because the consensus for the black population of people, the minority population of people, we've been going through this for a long time. And so now, when we need those political voices the most, we see who's not there. Your state representatives, your mayors, your local city council people are not there. They're voiceless, and they're absent. And so their silence speaks volumes, because we need them. We need to hear something from those leaders, or elected leaders, or elected so-called leaders, but yet you're not giving us any type of direction or pathway forward to ensure and or comfort us as a black man driving through our communities. You haven't provided us with any type of plan of action to say, boy, we're looking out, we hear you. I agree, the police brutality is bad. I've seen it with my own eyes. I haven't experienced it, but I see how it can be of a concern to the minority population of people, because it's been shown over and over and over and over again. But these leaders, political affiliations, I don't care what party you are, I'm going to just say this. Whatever party you with, before George Floyd's life was publicly lynched live on television, not a Democrat or Republican that we are aware of had this agenda on their table. So what are you there going to do on a regular basis, 365 days out the year? You're not looking about our issues. Your issues are something totally different than what we're concerned about. We're concerned about being safe in our
Mm-hmm.
lives and those things. But you worry about gerrymandering and redistricting and depriving people of voting, those type of things, or giving corporations big bailouts. And you don't even want to give the same thing to us taxpayers. The little $1,200 stimulus check that you gave everybody was nothing merely than what we paid in taxes, what they took from us over the years that we've been working. So
Yeah.
you just gave us a fraction of what we've been working for all of our lives, and
Mm-hmm.
you was hesitant about giving us that. So I think it's those people that's in office, it's time out. You know, it's time for you guys to get up out them seats because you done got too comfortable.
They got too comfortable. Yes.
They got too comfortable. That's correct. You know, you done got the remote in your hand. You done sit in your recliner. You leaning back, and you
Mhm.
all everything got your wine cooler or your whatever you got in your hand,
Yeah.
and you chilling. You in that chill mode because you're comfortable. Now is not the time for us to allow them to be comfortable. You know,
Mhm.
there's a saying that I live by each and every day that Martin Luther King had left upon us,
Mhm.
and he said, "You do not judge a man where he sits in comfort. The true measures of any man is seen where they stand in the midst of controversy and challenge." And we see where these leaders or so-called elected leaders are standing, where they choose to stand. They stand playing hooky from the realities of what's going on. They're not engaged. They're not involved. They're totally disconnected from the community that they represent. And here in Brooklyn Park and Brooklyn Center, these two places is the largest expanded demographically mixed community in the region in the past 30 years, and yet the cities have not kept pace. And here we are once again saying
Mhm.
that they're absent and they're
Mhm.
voiceless. But
Yeah.
white silence is violence as well. So we hear them loud and clearly, and we see with our own eyes that you're not visible. And when time comes for us to do something about it, trust and believe it's something gonna be done about it because you've done nothing about helping or saving us.
Yeah, you know, when you said there, yes, they're too comfortable. I see that a lot. I really do, and I think in America in the past couple of years, we all got so comfortable, almost at a level where it almost seems like America is so perfect on the outside when you look at it, where there would never be a problem or anything like that. And if it wasn't for all of this protest going on and the young people up raising their voice, we probably would have never knew that there's something boiling underneath in the dark as
Yeah.
well. So I'm glad you brought that up, because when some people get too comfortable and their life is good, they're not worried about, what is happening on the other side of life or other communities, then things start to escalate. So it seems like everyone held it in for a very long time, and now they just explode. So I'm really glad you brought that up. Do you feel like this situation right now is really, really changing them a lot out of their comfort zone?
Well, in my conversation with a lot of community people,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people in the community get it. But you still have those pockets of people that still just not getting it whatsoever. You know, they just not. But that's those people that's caught up in their own selfishness. See?
Yep.
They're not trying to gain understanding. I was out door knocking and talked to a mother the other day, and she said, "Well, the police department, I think they're doing a really good job." And I respectfully say, "Well, mother, to you, they might be doing a good job. But if I brought 20 other people over here to say that they wasn't, then what? What would you say then? That they not doing a good job?" She hushed her shoulders. It's like, okay, it ain't me, so it's them. But that's not solving the problem. The problem is saying that it's a problem for all of us, because if you got 20 people that saying there's a problem with the police department, then there must be a problem with the police department. And by you being a respectfully a white woman who don't have any problems or issues, that's understandable too. I can understand because she probably not had any problem. But those other 20 people have experienced problems, ongoing problems, and so
Mm-hmm.
have members in their family. But we all live here together. So if it's one person's problem, it's all of our problem. Because we choose to live here in Brooklyn Park. And the only way we're going to unite our community is begin welcoming, inviting, encouraging, inspiring, and reaching out to our fellow men. This is what we're here for each and every day, to make Brooklyn Park a better place to be, a more prideful community for us to live in, and a place that we can call home and be proud to call Brooklyn Park our home. Some people don't even tell you that they live in Brooklyn Park because they're still ashamed of Brooklyn Park because there's so many people of color that live here. But that's one of the most outstanding things that Brooklyn Park have that's been untapped and unpursued because they don't know how to engage this community. That's the whole problem. The leadership are so far disconnected from engaging this community. That's the reason why we're so far behind. This has been going on for nearly 30 years, and yet we still have kept pace with the changing dynamics. How much further and longer do we have to go before we realize and see that our diversity is our best attribute that we have here in the city of Brooklyn Park, and including Brooklyn Center, yet these outdated, primitive ways of thinking, traditional ways of thinking, and privileged ways of thinking is what's holding us back. So we have to change that. We have to put people in office that's been tried, tested, and proven before they even get there.
Yeah.
We see what they're doing. We know what they have. We see them out in the community. We hear them speaking loudly in the community. So we know when they get in office, they're going to continue to do the same thing. We don't need nobody that's in office for several years and ain't shown us anything, or we don't need any other candidates who want to vie for office who haven't demonstrated us anything, just want to run to be running. You know, I'm not trying to take that away from them, but what I am trying to take away from them is you don't deserve to be running, as far as I'm concerned, when you have been tried, tested, or proven. It's moments like these where I've been trained and prepared as a U.S. Navy honorably discharged veteran of war, stepped up to serve you and this country and your families. And I was ready to sacrifice my life on people that I didn't even know. Didn't have to look like me, didn't have to be where I'm from, or didn't even have to speak my same language, but I was willing to put my life on the line for those individuals. And here I am once again, stepping up, ready to emerge and take center stage, to become that voice, to be that bold, brave, and courageous voice and leader that we so deservingly need in our community to help engage our community and to move our community forward, that we can become a better community for us all to live, work, play, raise a family, worship, to do business. And I am standing here as the people's choice, representing the people of Brooklyn Park.
Well, this question is going to relate a little bit to your journey. So you were born in Michigan, and then you lived in Arkansas, and came to Minnesota. Now, when I brought that up, as far as like Black communities, minority communities in each different state, have you seen difference in how they're treated or how their lifestyles are, in each different state, or do you feel like this is a whole entire problem across the United States, or is there some states that are more beneficial to the Blacks as well? Because like we have some people that argue and say, Blacks are definitely be segregated. There's still racism. There's still a lot of that going on right now. And then we have also the conservative Black people who are also saying that it doesn't exist, or things like that. Does each state have its own different kind of way of a lifestyle for minorities and Blacks?
Well, let me say this. Any Black that believes that there is no type of racism or discrimination that's going on in this community are so far disconnected from our living and true realities that we face each and every day. It's no different than a white person not experiencing that or wanting to see it, and a Black person that's doing it as well. And I think it's worse. And it's worse because all they got to do is know their own history. Their mothers, their grandparents, their great-grandparents, they lived through it. So if they lived through it, and the experiences that they went through. Prime example, my mom is 97 years young, praising God and thanking her each and every day.
She knows the history more than any of us, yes.
This is what I'm trying to say. Over 400 years, my mom lived 25% of those years and seen what she's seen through the lens of her eyes. And this George Floyd moment that she experienced is hurting to me, saddening to me, because my mom been calling me every other day, checking on me to see how I'm doing, because in the midst of what's going on, She know all my life I've been stepping up to be a voice of the people, and she learned that I was speaking and spoke for George Floyd's memorial and those things. So she's concerned, and so she's concerned about her son. And I have to leave to go see my mom to make sure I can comfort her by letting her see me visibly,
Yeah.
and not just hearing my voice. And now my mom told me, she said, I was really, really, really sad to see that happen, right before our eyes to play out on TV. And she said, really, really hurt her, and she started crying, was when she heard George Floyd, a grown man, calling out for his mother.
Oh, his mom, yeah.
Only mother's love that can hear that, right? My mom felt that piercing cry of George Floyd, of another mother's son crying out to his mom. And this was a grown man crying out to his mother, and yet none of those officers gave that any respect or any consideration to get up off of him or to get up off his neck and or to intervene. So that in itself, to hear a grown man cry out for his mom, as we can just digress for a minute and revisit ourselves. When we used to call our mom, what was the situations when we used to call them? We needed them at that moment. And this George Floyd was crying out for his mom, and she had preceded him in death almost 2 to 3 years. So he was really crying out for his mother. Unfortunately. And so blacks have to realize, let me say this too. White folk today, as we know them today, is not the cause of 400 years of racism 400 years ago, because they wasn't here. So I understand that, and I get it, and I realize it. But let me say this. However, white folk today is not doing anything about it today, then you part of the problem today, because you're choosing to remain silent. And as I said, you're choosing to remain silent. You're choosing to be absent. You're choosing to remain silent. I don't blame you for what happened 400 years ago, because you wasn't alive 400 years ago. But what's happening 400 years in advance is that you're choosing to remain silent. And here's an important question.
Okay.
To all the white folks that's out there, which one of you are willing to change your life to become a black person today? And if not, why not? Because you know what black people go through today. And if you know what black people go through today, why aren't you doing anything about it? Why are you remaining silent and not doing anything to help a person of color and help your community out? Because you know what's going on. So you don't want to change your life to be a black person, especially a black man. And the reason is because you know what black men and black people go through. So if you know that, then why do you choose to remain silent? And it's back to you being comfortable in your own zone. As long as they're not bothering you, you're okay. But we're not okay.
That's powerful there, yeah. Well, I never looked at it that way, but now you open my mind into that perspective. Yeah, it really makes sense. I mean, now it makes sense why a lot of them are coming out to support the protests. Do you feel like they're speaking out enough now? Or they have finally realized that our silence has really been filling in that gap of suffering?
Well, our silence is most definitely silencing our efforts in our direction and growth and advancement. When you remain silent, remember there's an old saying that we all learned a long time ago: the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Long as that wheel continues to squeak, somebody's gonna pay attention and they're gonna put some oil on it to stop it from making the noise. But if it's not making any noise, we ain't gonna pay it no attention. But long as that wheel continue to squeak, we paying attention, and it's irritating to say the least, but we're gonna have to do something about it to fix it and stop it. So as long as we continue to be vocal, as long as we continue to be visible, as long as we continue to protest, as long as we continue to mobilize, as long as we continue to speak our truth.
The truth, yes.
Speak our truth as we know it, live it, and experience it, then we can never be ashamed of standing up, stepping up, speaking out, speak clearly, and speaking often, and being devoted, dedicated, and determined, and committed to our efforts in trying to get some outdated, long overdue results for equal rights for people of color. And that happens in many areas of life. Number one, I'm a strong proponent against a credit score. A credit score to me is nothing merely but man-made, and is a way of depriving people an opportunity
Yes.
to get something in life. So that's all it is. We never had a credit score, but some genius wanted to come up with a credit score to say, well, we can use this to stop people with a certain credit score for not getting a house, not getting a car, or not getting it. Why should you want to stop or impede anybody from those great American experiences or those American dreams? Why would you want to do that? See, that's just another way of holding people back just by having a credit score, a negative credit score. And there was back in the day when I remember that my bank managers knew me and I knew them. It's a handshake. I would go in the bank. All the tellers were speaking to me before I mean, as I walk in the door, I can go up to a window and they would service me, and I didn't even have an ID. But that's because they knew who I was, and they knew the relationship that we had developed over the years. But now you go into a bank, they have to send your information up the chain of command for them to review it and do all those type of things, and it can come back adversely to say, no, well, boy, you just, your credit score didn't make it, so now we can't give you that home that you worked for all of your life and that you saved for, to get this house. But just because your credit score don't match, then we can't give it to you. And let's carry that credit score a little further. People, and as I experienced myself, you go get some auto insurance, they want to do a credit check on you for auto insurance. What does that got to do with you driving the car? I'm just totally confused with stuff like that. They put all these barriers in place to continue to hold people of color back from excelling, from reaching their true potentials. They constantly got their knee on your neck, on our neck, trying to prevent us from reaching our true potentials, which is total inhumane, inexcusable, unacceptable, and totally need to be reformed and transformed to make sure that we all have equal opportunity and equal access. And I'm going to leave this one with you too. If black people of color are homeowners and they pay taxes just like white folk pay taxes, how is it that black family kids are getting the lesser end of the education perspective than whites when we paying taxes just like them? See, that sounds like a teaching problem to me. It don't sound like a real money problem. It sounds like the teachers is not teaching, so our kids are being left behind because of the teacher is not taking time out to teach our particular kids. You don't need money to teach. You're getting paid to teach. So if you're getting paid to teach, we're going to charge you to just teach. And here's one of the ways that I thought we can make that happen. If students are required to have a report card in school, and the reason being is lets them know, the parents know what they're doing in school, in all their classes, and all their subject matters. So why don't we have a report card for every teacher to grade them on how they're teaching in class? So when they get those grades in class, and at the end of the semester, then we can see how well that teacher is teaching each and every one of them students in that classroom. And that report card won't tell a story, see? That's beginning to hold them accountable. Basic common sense solutions to common issues and problems that nobody wants because it's going to hold them accountable. And we need to begin to hold them accountable.
Now that reminds me of something when you brought that up. So Juneteenth, as a lot of people start to learn about it. I myself just learned about Juneteenth during this year of all this going on. There used to be a lot of arguments that are saying, the school is not teaching everything that our children need to know, that they're holding back some of the knowledge or information they need to know. How much more, it makes us question that, how much more have the school held away from our history or things that we need to know, or even the wonderful things that revolve around Black people, like Juneteenth itself as well, because we come to find this as a really warming holiday that brings family together to celebrate and just have that moment. It's almost like a family reunion, but in a much bigger national way and things like that. So it really speaks a lot. It kind of reveals that, okay, maybe the teachers are not teaching these kids what they need to know. And I do think that even in school, they don't teach all of the things that they have done as well to the Black people. Like last couple of weeks ago, I read a documentary about housing, especially here in Minnesota, that they would put in code writings where only the people who are in power can understand, but then the people who are the minority or the citizens don't understand that. So whenever, for example, they'll put a code saying, once the house is on the market or on a sale, that this house cannot be sold to a Black person.
That's correct. That's correct.
Because of whatever reason, or if it's sold to a Black person, that it can't be sold again for the same value, things like that. So that's some of the things that I study and read and come up on my own, because they don't teach a lot of these things in school as well. So with all of these coming out now, they're coming into the surface. Do you feel like maybe the white Americans that have been silenced for a very long time are learning the truth themselves as well? Or they have been learning that?
Well, to echo what you said about that documentary, that information is still on Minneapolis books right now. If you check Minneapolis records, exactly what you said is still currently on their real estate laws and language.
I was shocked when I saw that, 2020. Yeah.
2020 is still on their books that they are not supposed or shouldn't sell properties to people of color in those neighborhoods and communities. And it's still on their books right now today. But why? If we elected these elected officials to go there to look out for the people, and there's language and laws that's still on the books, like lynching or like not selling property to people of color.
Yeah.
And see, that's a problem. You go in there to those offices doing something totally not productive for the people. Yet you go in there to fight and deal with battles that you choose as a particular party and not people. If your life hasn't progressed in the last 5, 10, or 15 years on the upside, then we need to blame those politicians who are being elected in office, who are not doing what they're supposed to in office for the people, the you, the me, the we, and the us, the everyday lost, forgotten generation of ordinary people. See, that's who they're forgetting. They're supposed to be going to work for, but they go in those offices, they assume those seats, and it becomes all about them because they didn't got comfortable in them seats. And they're doing exactly what that particular party wants them to do, and not what the people need them to do. I didn't say want, I said need them to do. Because, take these few numbers. If 10 years ago, somebody was making $3 an hour, and each year from 10 years, inflation increased 3%. So you're going to do this. So 3% times 10 years means economy in 10 years grew 30%. So that means 10 years ago at $3 an hour, you was buying a loaf of bread for $1 or a gallon of milk for $1, those type of things. But now 10 years later, that loaf of bread is $3, that milk is $3, but you're still making that same $3 an hour. So how do you, in common sense, believe that a family can survive off $3 an hour 10 years later when the economy done increased 30% in 10 years? That does not even add up.
It's not that much.
This is how our legislators are not working on behalf of the everyday common people, the you, the me, the we, and us, and our families, friends and their families, and our communities and neighborhoods. See, those things are the problem that nobody want to speak about. But here it is. We see this with our own eyes, that they're not doing anything. But what's damaging to us and our community is that we keep electing them to do the same thing over again. And I was taught that if you continue to do the same old thing over and over again, expect a different outcome, that's the definition of insanity. And apparently we have a huge problem because a lot of us continue to vote the same people back in office. Even they have proven to us not to do anything whatsoever. But as you said, that same documentary that you've seen, those same laws, lynching laws are still on the books right now in southern states. How is
Mm-hmm.
that on the books today in 2020? That's because the politicians are not doing what they should do for you, the me, the we, and the us, the people. It's the people that put them there. It's the people that expecting some outcome and some changes, but yet they don't go there with the people in mind. They go there to satisfy a Democrat or a Republican, which we need to wake up, people. We truly need to wake up. And I don't care what party you're with, but at
Mm-hmm.
the same time, it's all about the people. What about your grandparents or your grandkids or your
Mm-hmm.
great grandkids or even your kids? What life are they going to have 5 years from now or 10 years from now if we don't do anything about it today?
Mm-hmm. Wow. Now I know back in the history before, I'm going to bring up Tulsa,
Yes,
the Oklahoma
like Wall
Tulsa.
Street.
Yeah. Where, the black community, they were successful, they had their own businesses, they had their own land, they had their own property, they had pretty much everything that they needed for their society as well, which unfortunately it was destroyed by the supremacists at the time. Now, I know it's really devastating that happened, and now that pushed the black community a huge step far back as far as to now where we at in the 2020. But the only question that runs in my head that I always think of, is it possible for them, for the black community to be given back those properties and those lands that belong to them in this, or is this something that we would have to fight for in order to get it back, or at least, keep raising our voices on it? Like, how does that happen or go about? Or is it lost forever?
Well, here's the point is that we had a mother a week ago survived the Black Wall Street. She just turned 105 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I sent her birthday message, and she lived that experience. Now, that experience was just a tip of some things that happened. Black Wall Street was the most affluent city in the United States of America during that period and time, and it was occupied by all blacks. The
Yeah.
dollar circulated 10 times in that one community before it left that community. They owned their banks and grocery stores and school systems. They wore suits every day. They owned yachts. They owned planes.
Yes,
They owned
they
all of these things that they was able to afford. And now let me share this. Then the city was burnt down by some angry, hateful white folk back during that period of time. They killed them. They looted. I
Yeah.
said looted. So don't blame black people for looting. When you started looting, when you started looting from Black Wall Street, then you burned down their homes and you burned down their buildings. So when black people, if you say they doing it now in these protesting, don't think they started, white folks started that back at Black Wall Street. So don't get it twisted. This is something that they came up with, but they trying to
Yeah.
point it on black people today, but they the one that taught us those things years ago. So with that being said, still today there's 2,700,000 and some odd dollars that's still unclaimed or unpaid to homeowners and business owners by the insurance companies who never satisfied those claims back then when all those white folks did what they done back then during that time. Yet here's the most damaging thing as well. No one has ever been arrested for that.
Never, huh?
No one has ever been brought to court, brought to trial, brought before a jurisdiction, a jury of their peers, and held them accountable for killing those folks, burning down those buildings, destroying a whole entire community and population of people, and not one person ever been brought to justice. And it's pictures of people from back then, so you can't tell you don't see that person. Nobody know who that person is.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so since you see that, the white silence again is what's violence.
Yes.
Again, let me make sure I clearly say, white folk today, I don't blame them about what happened 4 years, 100 years ago, or during that period of time. For white folks today, I do look for you to stand up and do something about it today, because it's about all of us today coming together and working together to build a better place for us all to live, and coming together in equal opportunities. The same freedoms and liberties that I fought for in this country as a U.S. Navy honorary discharged veteran of war. So I'm holding you accountable. Just to let you know, Black Wall Street was one of the most historical moments in our time. It's not even in history books. So see, that's where you start too.
That's another thing, yes.
It's not in the history book. So white folk are not taught black people's contributions in America, so they can appreciate what blacks have contributed. Many white folk think that blacks have no role in America because it's not in our American history books.
No.
See, you have to go to the Black History book to learn Black history's contribution in American history. Yet American history is Black history, but they segregate it, as they do so many other things. So we need to make sure that the new books that's in school right now have Black Wall Street in it, have Juneteenth in it, have Naked Ever Boys in it, the Tuskegee Airmen in it, to have many, the St. Louis riots, to have all of these things in it that's being omitted by the education system, because they don't want white folks to know our contribution in America, and they don't want white folks to know how white folks treated people of color back so inhumanely back during those periods of time. They don't want to put that on white folks, which is, you did it, they did it, that's reality, and that's our history. So we need to learn it. And we shouldn't have to go to study black studies to learn what blacks contributed in American history, or any person from any race. Yeah.
I love it. And I brought this up because this is huge. The youth needs to hear this as well. Because I feel like, is a part of history, is a part of their history that has been taken away. And they need to hear this in order to understand why they should keep their voice up, to let them know that we had a history. We had such a really amazing history that we were once independent. We once had our own institution. We had our own great school. Men were dressed up in a very respectful way, to their communities. We had family-oriented and things like that. And that's one of the history that is stolen from this generation right now, especially millennials and the next generation, Z and X, that are after them as well. And I'm so happy you explained that. So they can have that hope. They can continue to thrive, or at least be the future change for America, knowing that you've done that once, you could do it again.
And can I just briefly tag on that just a little bit? Now, what does it say when Juneteenth is such a sacred holiday and moment for people of color, and you have the current so-called President of the United States decided to go to the same town where the sacred grounds are, and wanted to hold a rally on the same day of Juneteenth? What does that say about the mindset of this administration today? Something so sacred to people of color, he decided to want to go have a rally on the same day in the same place where blacks were slaughtered.
I stuck with that question a little bit. Yeah. I mean, is it the lack of knowledge, or just hiding it back to say, basically, is it either they knew about it, but they just devalued it? Or...
my opinion, they devalued it and they just didn't care. Because you can't tell me, or again, all the people that surrounded this number 45, all the people in his administration that surrounded him, didn't know anything about this. That's a shame if none of them knew that about it. But he tell us he gonna surround himself with the best possible people. Yet there's been so many that quit, so many that retired, so many that resigned, some people that refuse to even associate themselves with him right now today. Because this is just a joke. I ain't never seen America this so divided, separated, based on the 3+ years under this administration. It's just totally baffling to me. As a U.S. Navy veteran of war, that served this country. I'm telling you right now today, I would have resigned if I had to serve under this administration. I would not have did it. Not one day. One more day, shall I say. And I'm a proud Navy man. If any of you know me, I'm a proud Navy man. But America today is not the America that I served and took an oath to serve, defend, and
It's
protect.
shifting fast. Yes.
It isn't, you know. And then they speak about make America great. Tell me at what point in history was America great? And then tell me who was it great for? Because black people still been doing suffering for 400 years. So when was America ever great, and who was it great for? What was it great during the time the St. Louis riots, or was it great during the time the Megadeth boys when you injected military soldiers with gonorrhea and syphilis, and you was using them as studies, injecting them with water just to monitor your weekly, daily interactions of how they was progressing or digressing during those periods to see how you know how to treat them. But you did that on black people. You use them as experiments and guinea pigs. So at what point was that America great during that period of time? Was it great when black soldiers went off to war, came home after fighting side by side with white soldiers, and yet many white folks from that era got homes. But black people still couldn't get homes after they had fought and served in the war alongside of white folks that served this country, and yet the government guarantees a loan to people that served this country, but black folks yesterday, during that period, couldn't get a loan, and they can't get a loan today. You know, I hear some stories where veterans say they're trying to get a loan, but there's that credit score to say that they can't get a loan. Not because they can't afford it, but because a credit score does not meet what the bank is expecting. So, which means that's another deterrent for a person of color who don't have the credit score. And then, you know, I turned around and asked the bank. I even turned around and asked the commissioner of the Veterans Committee at the state of Minnesota. I asked him, I said, tell me this. What credit score was required for any military veteran to go serve this country? They didn't need a credit score. So why do they need a credit score now to get a house that you guarantee them that you'd pay for if they default in it? See, this stuff just doesn't make sense.
So it's almost like they're adding on more to make it more difficult.
You're making it more difficult. Because if the government guarantees you a loan, and if a military person defaults in that loan, the government will pay for that mortgage. So how does the bank really have a loss? They would never have a loss because the government guarantees them that money. But now you're going to hold that veteran back because they don't meet the credit score, not because they can't pay for it, but because they don't have the credit score, the man-made credit score that you created to give you an opportunity and a right to deny them an opportunity to get a home. See, this stuff is just really crazy.
Which doesn't make sense. But I struggled with that in the last couple months, where I talked to different mortgages and different lenders, and they, they said your credit score has to be this number. I believe it was like a 660, and then they could drop it down to 620 if you have this certain criteria in your background and things like that. And the only thing running in my head is, okay, if my credit score is not that high, I'm capable, I'm financially perfectly stable, and I don't have any, other record background thing that they look at. So the only thing that they are focusing on is a credit score, So in my mind, I'm just like, that's the only thing that I need to sweep away, and I would have got the house I want,
Right.
And so, and I'm glad you explained this, because now that really answered some of the things that has been happening here and there in my life as well, knowing that credit score is something that is added on. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't that high, too, when they started having credit score as well, I mean, it's a transition that it just keep getting more strict for certain people to not get that.
That's correct. It does. That's still a way to discriminate against a person of color based on a credit score. See, people don't understand that's still a way to do that. And it gives them a right to do that. But they should. We should sue them, whoever made up a credit score, because all that is another form of discrimination based on a credit score. If I was working and I got injured on my job, and so it caused me to be delinquent in my payments because I got injured on my job. So now I was getting a little disability or whatever, but now just because I missed a couple of payments and now I go to apply for a home or I'm back to work again, when I was off work, you holding that against me because I fell down the steps and broke both of my legs and now I was off work. But now I'm gainfully employed, making my money back once again, and now I can afford the house, but now you deprive me an opportunity to get the house, to empower me, to make me feel empowered, because now I got home ownership, see? But society want to keep you in rental property, see? Keep you in rental property and on welfare, those type of things, where you can't rise above. Again, I say, but you can't rise above to be in that prey of being called home ownership. You know, they think it's crazy. It's all by design and purpose. The reason why they do it, because if it wasn't, then why don't you just change it? Because it's not right. It's inhumane. But see, just because they done accepted it and it's working, the system works the way they organize the system and develop it. And it worked for those that know how to work the system. See, we wasn't taught the system. So it's complicated for us because we wasn't taught the system. But once we learn a little bit about the system, they changed the rules of the system, see? So we still got to catch up because now they turn the playbook. So this is something that's ongoing, something that we got to make sure that we pay attention to, and we got to stop. So it's not just police brutality, it's poor education, it's housing,
school,
it's credit scores, it's health care, it's all of these things. It's minimum wage, you know, it's housing. You know, it's all of those particular things that holds us back from becoming a productive performer and contributor to society, because you put those barriers up.
That is so wrong. I mean, it's like you finally reach the level, now they put something else to make it higher, and now you got to keep climbing and climbing.
Of course.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, these has all been wonderful information that a lot of people needed to hear, especially credit score. Like, a lot of people don't even understand credit scores or how it's work. Even I myself had to, you know, try to figure it out on my own, because that's the same thing I'm being told. Or your credit score is low, or you don't have any loans, or you don't have any credits, you know. Where some of us children, we grew up from a background where we're not taught credit score, we're not taught these financial system things. And then, you know, we have to learn it on our own. But now we know and understand too that it's something that keeps adding on, where you now understand that, okay, so I wasn't tripping. It's just that the ladder keeps getting higher, you know, in this situation.
Exactly.
Wow. That
and
really
if
helped
let
a lot.
me add this to you. They tell you may need to get some more credit. But once you get that other credit, just be mindful. Now they're going to tell you got too much credit, open credit, so your credit score going to go down even further.
Yep.
See, you know,
That's another thing too.
This is what I'm trying to tell you. They want you to get more credit to be in debt, and then to deny you once again, to say now you in debt too much credit, because it's a certain percentage over what they don't want it to be to make this loan doable. So you have to be mindful. I'm gonna just share this with you and your viewers. You know, stay true to your credit. Do what you can, pay your bills as much as you can and as often you can and on time, because this is a man-made system, and the only way you're going to make it happen is to do what this system says, or unless this system is being changed to be that much more favorable of the people. Why would you want to continue to, these are the questions we need to ask. Always ask why. why do we want to deprive people home ownership, the freedom of the American dream? When you did everything that you
That's
possibly
one of the
could,
biggest American dream. Yes.
right? You doing everything that you can. You working, you saving your money, you doing these
Yep.
things, and you just want to live in a house that you want.
Yeah.
I don't want to live in a house that you want me to live in. I want to live in a house that I want. I can
Yes.
afford to pay for it.
Thank you.
So now allow me to live there. And don't allow my credit score to prevent, hinder, or handicap me from doing those things. Because I earned this, I worked for it, and now you holding me back because of your credit score, your man-made credit score. That's a slap in the face to those that's working hard, trying to do the right thing and make the right things happen for them and their family. Because see, once you become a homeowner, see, you have collateral, you gain respect, you gain all these things that they don't want us to have: collateral, respect,
Yeah.
or privilege. See, they don't want us to have these things, which is unfortunate. And it goes on and on and on and on. But we can't allow that to stop us. See, we got to continue to strive for better and do better, and make ourselves become empowered. Unfortunately, we have to do what they're asking us with the credit score right now. But I think that should be a topic on the table for our legislators to be talking about too. See, this is what I'm saying. No Democrat or Republican is talking about these things. They're supposed to be there working for you. How are you supposed to go get a house and the credit scores was holding you back as a person of color?
Yes.
That's crazy. See, they know what they're doing. The system work, but it's an old, outdated thing called politics. This word that I call politics. They trick you into believing what they want you to believe, and we believe it. See, they selling us a river, and it's dried up. See, and they've been selling it to us for a long time. We got to stop and check out the scenery and stop falling for that. And begin to hold them accountable for trying to sell us that dried up lake or river. And we can't continue to keep putting them back in office to do the same thing all over again, because we are the recipients of their lack of actions.
Wow. Well, Mr. Boyd Morrison, this has been wonderful information. Even I, myself, have really enjoyed this conversation. We have come towards the end of our time at the moment, but I'd like to hear your last word. What would you like to tell, the millennials that are raising their voice out there, the younger generations? What would be your last message to them as you are one of the candidates?
Thank you. My last words to our youth of tomorrow. I see you, I hear you, I applaud you, and I'm proud of you. You have decided to firmly plant your foot on the ground and stand up, speak out, speak clearly, to be committed, devoted, dedicated, and determined to make things happen for your fellow classmates, your neighbors that you grew up with, who don't have to look like you, who not where you're from, or don't speak your language. You didn't allow those barriers, even that your parents may hold against other people, to interfere with your thoughts and ideas, to allow you to become that mouthpiece for other folk. That's what life is about: stepping up and standing up and speaking up for those that can't. And when you do that, we all become a better community and a better place to live. I'm proud of you, the younger generation, and I'm even proud of you to all of those that have stepped up and took the initiative to do something, to get out of that lazy boy chair and put down that remote and get off the sideline and get into the game and get into the action, to be on the right side of history during this history-making opportunity and moment that's going to go down in history.
Yes.
The question is, what side of history are you going to be on? Listen, I'm Boyd Morson, and it'll be a total honor and a welcome privilege to serve you in the Central District in Brooklyn Park, to represent your voice, the people's voice, down at City Hall. There's a chair that's waiting come January. And this chair that only can be seated by the people's choice. It's only there for somebody that's there for the people, not for another Democrat or not for another Republican, but somebody that's truly there looking out for the everyday common people, the seniors and retirees on fixed income, the middle class who are feeling the pinch, those caught up in the crevice of life, still struggling to survive, and those living without hope, still trying to find their way out. Listen, I hear you, I see you, and I'm there for you. I'm ready to take center stage and become that bold, brave, and courageous voice that we need. I'm willing to become the most visible face, the most careful listener, the direct gateway to our legislators to ensure that Brooklyn Park is one of the first cities in our state to have access to state funding. That deserves a relationship. I'm Boyd Morson, Central District City Council candidate, asking for your vote, respectfully but directly, asking you for your vote come August 11th and again on November the 3rd. I can't do this without you, and I don't want to do this without you. So let's together be the change and the difference makers that we all want to be in our community, make Brooklyn Park a better place for us all, that begins to tell new stories on how we came together and worked together to make Brooklyn Park a blueprint for other cities and municipalities to follow. I'm Boyd Morson. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Morrison. That was wonderful. And it was a wonderful pleasure having you today. I really enjoyed this conversation. We'll keep watching you, and we wish you the best of everything in the candidates. May God work in your favor in all that you do. And look forward to having you again in the near future, touch base up and see where things are. Thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you for this moment and opportunity to showcase me or let the people hear who I am as a person, as a candidate, and what I bring to the table. Thank you very much. You know, one thing we didn't touch on was police brutality, but again, maybe next time we can talk about those things. But again, I'm thankful for this moment and opportunity. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for your show and lifting up your voice to the needs of our particular community.
Thank you. All right, everyone, have a wonderful night.
Thank you.
Hi, it's me again, Korma Agustak-Meyer. I'm here today to tell you more about Tempo Africa and how you can contribute. As you know, Tempo Africa is a station that services people of African descent and people in America, people in Africa. It's all over the globe. And for us to do that, we are always accepting donations. To donate, you can go to the website at tempoafrictv.com, and then you click on the home page and then click on PayPal donation, and you can make your donation there. You could also call in and make a donation. The number is 612-804-0295. I cannot tell you how grateful we are for your donation. Please take the time and check out the website and feel free to donate to this wonderful service that Tempo Afrique continues to offer us abroad and at home. All this information is on the website. Just go to tempoafrictv.com and you will get more information. Thank you very much.